Well, let's take a look at what is happening on the markets, and we start off with the JSE. And over there, seeming that the JSE was a little bit undecided. We did see it earlier on trading at around 0.02% above that flat line, but now gaining, eking out gains there, with the all share coming in almost 1/3%. Of course, you are seeing the resources 10 complex leading the gains there, leaving behind all the other sectors, with the gains of almost 2.5%, with the financial 15 leading the losses that we are seeing there, declining almost 0.5%, and the industrial 25 slumping by just more than 0.1%. Let's take a look at what is happening in the US markets, and on that front, digesting economic data such as retail sales for January. We did see there a contraction that was more than what markets had anticipated, so quite a mixed picture over there. The tech-heavy Nasdaq being the only bourse in the red, declining more than 1/4%. The S&P 500 up just almost 1/10%, and the Dow there with a gain of 0.4%. Let's take a look at what is happening with markets across the Atlantic, and over there markets digesting the UK that slipped into a recession in the second half of 2023. Of course, we did have a contraction there in the fourth quarter of 0.3% after a contraction of 0.1% in the third quarter. Of course, in earnings, we did see German bank Commerzbank beating on earnings, reporting its best results in 15 years, and French car maker Renault's shares surging after the company said that it would raise its dividend payout. A sea of green over there, with the FTSE 100 up by 0.5%. The CAC 40 leading those gains there, climbing almost 0.9%, and the DAX they're up almost 0.6%. Let's take a look at what is happening on the currency scene and start off with how the rand is doing against some of the major currencies. Some strength coming through to the rand, now below 19 rand against the US dollar, at 23.88 rand against the pound, and at 20.43 rand against the euro. Let's check in on how the other currency pairs are doing, starting off with the euro dollar at 1.07. The pound dollar at 1.25, and the yen just below 150 against the US dollar. Of course, as we saw Japan also slipping into a technical recession, as it gave up its spot of the third largest economy to Germany.